What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Dad Needs to Talk. I'm your host, Robert, and today, can you believe it has already been 5 years since I started this journey? Man. So, I thought it would be a fun idea to kind of go down memory lane, and a lot of people that obviously, due to the name, y'all know I'm a dad, but I would say probably the second and probably biggest thing I am probably known for is talking about manga. And so I figured that'd be a nice thing to kind of reflect on looking back 5 years because for as much as people, watch my manga reviews and discussions and stuff and come to me for recommendations, I kind of thought back and I was like, man, like all the knowledge and different stuff I know about manga really did come after I started this podcast. So I kind of wanted to just dive into that, talk about the journey, what I've learned and everything. And so, yeah, hope y'all find some enjoyment out of this. But of course, for those of y'all that were here in the beginning, maybe remember my first little picture, one of my first pictures I ever posted online under Daddy's Talk was of me with Volume 1 of 20th Century Boys and then Volume 5 of Vinland Saga. Um, and so it all really started with that and with physical manga collecting because, to be honest, if I'm being honest with myself, when I think back to it now with anime and other stuff, I've always been pretty broad in the stuff I watch and different shows and anime, different stuff like that or whatever. But if I really think back on it with manga, I was really within the Shonen Jump bubble, except for a couple of specific series. And of course, a lot of that was a product of its time, but it was just what a lot of people are exposed to. And I kind of see it in different discussions that have happened over the years and how people lose their minds like, oh my God, Demon Slayer ended. Oh my God, JJK ended. There's no more manga to read. And it's like, dude, there are so many series out there, it is not even funny. And so, but I was kind of within that little bubble. But thankfully, I would say me starting this podcast, me getting into physical manga collecting, it really opened my eyes and broadened my scope to see that there really is so much out there to explore, to understand, so many series that don't even get no conversations about them. And yeah, so me starting this podcast as a manga fan is probably one of the best things I could have ever done because really the only stuff that wasn't a jump series that I had really gotten into were Attack on Titan, Kingdom, and I think this was like I don't know if it was a manhwa webtoon, I don't know what it was classified as way back in the day, but Red Storm, like in my early 20s, I think I started reading Red Storm. But yeah, it was really just mainly Jump, and then it was like these couple of series that, like I said, like kind of broke outside of the my little bubble, which was Attack on Titan, but that was because of the anime and between season 1 and 2, how long of a gap it was. I had found it online and started reading it that way. But like I said, kind of circling back to me starting this podcast, me going out and physically collecting manga, while I've definitely scaled back on that in recent years, um, just because I look through my shelf and it's like so much stuff that I bought and haven't even started or haven't even touched. I got some stuff probably still in the plastic wrapping, but I am still grateful that I started that journey in the beginning because one of my other favorite series that kind of show me that there is room still for more people and more voices, because a lot of people think like, oh my God, it's thousands of people that review manga. Clearly, there is no more room for me. But I'll never forget coming across Karate Survivor in another world when I was at Barnes and Nobles. And so, because of course, the red spine caught my eye, a title that says Karate Survivor. I'm like, hey, what is that? And y'all know me. I mentioned before how growing up, especially in college, of my friend group, I was known as the researcher, because everybody be in there having a conversation, talking about something, whatever. And what is your boy doing? I'm in the corner on my phone or my laptop searching or whatever. And that's what I did with this was I had searched on YouTube for Karate Survivor, found barely anything, especially in the English world. I think there was maybe a dude overseas that had talked about it, and I was like, "Wait, how is it that in at the time 2021, I can search for a manga and there be little to no discussions about it?" And so I did, and I talked about it, and that was very awesome. And that has been something else that I have prided myself on over the years since starting That Needs to Talk. Is I love finding a series that catches my eye and googling it, looking it up on YouTube, seeing little to nothing about it, making a video on it or whatever, or a podcast episode, and then it going up, and then people finding it and be like, oh my God, finally somebody else is talking about this series. And that's very dope, because for as small as I am in the grand scheme of things, the fact that I can still find my little pockets of the internet to be the first person or one of only a handful of people to talk about something is pretty cool. And that's why I still kind of encourage people that want to get into podcasting or YouTube or content creation in some shape or another. Like there is always room for more voices, for more perspectives and stuff. And I am a prime example of that. And so, like I said, kind of going back to the things I have learned, I really learned a lot over these years about all the different ins and outs of it. Of course, the biggest thing being, hey, there's more manga publishers out there aside from Viz. Of course, they're probably like the most well known and most visible, but there's so many more out there, like Kodansha, like Seven Seas. Who else I got here? Let's see, Kodansha, Seven Seas, Yen Press. Uh, I can't think. My brain is going blank right now, but there's a lot of them. And going along with that, I've also got a chance to meet a lot of people, from people who work on the editorial side, whether it's an editor or it's somebody that's a translator of a series, or somebody that's that does lettering or editing and different stuff like that for manga. I've even met people who are aspiring up and coming artists and stuff that are trying to create their own series and stuff. Shout out to my boy, where is it at? Silent P. Uh, for Space Crush, because he was probably one of the first people, him, and shout out to his lovely wife, Miss Cat, uh, uh, who, first of all, showed love to me in the beginning, but getting to connect with them, getting to connect with Silent P, and see his journey in creating a series. Like I got to read like early drafts and stuff and see him go through his process. And I even had him on the podcast at one point in time years ago. Need to have you back, homie. Uh, to just talk about what it's like to create something like that. And then, of course, him getting to the point where he finally got it collected, some of the chapters collected into a physical volume is super dope. But And then another one, or another imprint, I should say, is Saturday AM or Saturday PM. Lord, my eyes. Saturday AM. Sorry, it's late. My glasses ain't working, but getting to see other stories like Underground and all the other stuff that Saturday and their imprint and stuff create. Yeah, it's just been a wonderful journey. That, like I said, it is funny to, like I said, just to reflect on. And yeah, that is why I just continue to beat the drum in my own little corner, find series that I like, that I'm passionate about, talking about them, putting them out there in the world, because there is always people looking for new things, and I do my best to try to help spread the word, spread the love and the knowledge. And I would definitely, if I had the time and the capacity, love to review way more than I already do. But I kind of just take things in small chunks and tackle them as I can. But I definitely encourage people to get out there to explore and see what's all available aside from the big mainstream Viz and Shonen Jump series. Because yes, there are lots of dope and great series in there, but that is not the end all be all magazine. And so, shout out to other people out there like the homies at Panel Focus, like Knox and Yato, because they are always on the forefront of different series and stuff that are coming out and talking about the series. That, of course, they do talk about the big stuff, like JJK and Chainsaw Man and stuff like that. But they be out there beating the drum of Centuria and Galaxia and so many other uh, Ranger Reject, different things like that. That there is a hunger for people to find series like that. So, but yeah, so just don't be afraid to get out there to explore, especially in modern days now, man. Like manga is so much more accessible in so many ways than what it used to be. Because even for myself, you know, I appreciate having access to platforms like NetGalley and Edelweiss and things like that, where I can kind of browse through, request review copies and stuff like that from time to time. And yeah, just following other creators and stuff out there that are also doing awesome work on spotlighting a variety of series and stuff out there. So, but yeah, so like I said, just kind of wanted to do this to, like I said, reflect on these 5 years and everything. And I've just really, really, really enjoyed talking about manga and the occasional webtoon and stuff. And I've appreciated all of the support I get whenever I do put them out. And like I said, I really appreciate when people, comment and say stuff. It's like I said, as far as like, yo, thanks for putting this on my radar, or what even is this series? I never even heard of it, or yo, finally somebody else. Because hey, I and a lot of people can relate to having a series that you really enjoy, but feeling like, man, I the only one in the world that knows about this series, because you barely see anything posted about it online and things of that nature. But hey, we are out there, and that's why, like I said, I continue to try to find those hidden gems and kind of do what little bit I can to bubble them to the surface and put it on more people's radar and stuff. So, but yeah, and just kind of circling back to these couple of series. So with 20th Century Boys, like I think I probably talked about it back then, but the thing that kind of made me jump into this one was because growing up back in the day, I really liked another one of Naoki Urasawa's series called Monster. I enjoyed the anime of that back in the day, And so, of course, seeing his name on another series, I was like, oh, I gotta see what this is about. And that's how I ended up, getting into this one and enjoying it. And then with Villain Saga, same thing. It was because of the anime and me enjoying season one so much. And it was like, yo, I need to continue the story. Finding out it picked up in, book five, and then going on the journey from there. But that's kind of how it is a lot of times, is finding a start point. Like I said, whether it's a anime that you enjoyed, but hey, it's been years since it's got another season. You don't know if it's gonna get another season. Jumping into the manga, or like I said, familiarizing yourself with the name of the creators or studios and different stuff like that, and being like, oh, Naoki Urasawa. I think I remember that name. Oh yeah, yeah. I watched Monster back in the day. Oh, what is this? 20th Century Boys. Let me check that out. Oh, what is Pluto? Or what is what is the current one? I got it. Asador. Um, and yeah. And another thing I've just really enjoyed as well, with me sometimes being on the forefront of talking about series, is over the years of me doing this podcast, it's been a lot of stuff that has gotten a anime adaptation. So that's been kind of cool, just kind of like reflecting and being like, yeah, I was there uh before it had an anime and stuff like that. And so that's kind of been like a sense of pride for me, because if I kind of scroll through, let's see, all the stuff I talked about before there was an anime. So let's see, Call of the Night was an early one. Let's see, Witch Hat Atelier. Finally, the anime for that is finally coming out in a few weeks. Um My Home Hero. I talked about that before I got an anime. Headhunted into Another World. Let's see. Those still don't have anime yet. So I'm kind of going through my list from the beginning. Let's see. Sakamoto Days. Uncle from Another World. Let's see. Blue Lock. I think. I can't remember if I had got into this. I think it might have been like right before the anime came out. Shangri-La Frontier, Rooster Fighter, the anime for that just came out literally today, that I'm recording this, so I still need to watch the first episode of that. The beginning after the end, sadly, the anime for that's a little butchered, but hey, Oshi no Ko, Akane Banashi, that anime is coming out in a couple of weeks as well. Let's see what else I got that your boy talked about ahead of his time. Shy. Your Former, I still haven't seen that one. Helk. No Longer Allowed in Another World. I'm trying to think. Under Ninja. No. Under Ninja hasn't got an anime, but it was the Fable is what I'm thinking about. Marriage Toxin, that's got an anime coming up in a few weeks as well. Let's see. Okay. Let's go on to the next batch. Dark Gathering was another one. Let's see. I think that Orb, I told you that right before the anime for that came out. Past the Monster Meet Milady. Snowball Earth has an anime coming up soon. See, several of these I talked about years ago are all having an anime coming out in the same season. Like I said, like Snowball Earth, uh, Witch Hat, Rooster Fighter, a lot of stuff. Um, let's see. Anything else? I think that might be it for now. Yeah. So, but like I said, not bad. And like I said, I look forward to many more of these series that I talked about over the years. Eventually getting an anime. But with that being said, I'm gonna kind of wrap this up. Like I said, I hope y'all enjoyed this walk down memory lane, and I look forward to doing many more manga talks and manga episodes. But until then, as I always say, treat yourself to something nice, read some manga, watch some anime, TV shows, and movies, play some video games, and of course, live your best life. And with that, I am out. I'll catch you on the next one. Y'all be easy. Peace.